Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European Indices for Tuesday, December 21st. So I just want to start with the S&P here just to give you a bit of an idea of the US influence trend. So from wave B up here, we're looking down at wave 1 and 2 and then 1 and 2 here. So in this rally is 1 and 2. Now in the FTSE, this is really lifted quite high here, so it causes a bit of a problem, but the DAX is still okay. And let's just go into this little area here. So we've got 5 waves down to here, and then we've got another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here. So we've only got 3 waves down here so far. So yeah, we'll look for an ABC, and then this move down through here, what is going to obviously bring, it'll be the third of the third, and then we'll have a third wave. So it'll be a third of a third. So it can be quite a strong move coming down through here. If we don't get a turn in this box here and we end up above the level over here, well, then we'll have to look at this as 3 waves here, as a W and then an X and then a Y. So still down, it's just that we go higher here first. So with that said, let's look at the DAX. So with the DAX, this is how I had it, as a wave 3 here, an A and a B and a C wave down here. Not a lot of change, but I believe that we may need to put this over here for that. Let's cruise in and have a little look at this. So bringing it over, the B wave over to here, and looking at this as an A wave here, B wave here, and a C wave here for the B wave, and then down for 1 and back for 2, then down for 1 and back for 2, and 3, 4, 5, and moving down. Now, if this market once again also moves above, well, let's say the 15,500, if it can settle higher up here, then we'll have to call it a wave Y over here. So all of this up here, a W, then an A and a B, well, a WXYZ, WXY, to the WX here with 3 waves here. And we need to call this the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave here, only in 3 waves, and then we go up to the Y here, a little bit higher up. But let's go in and have a closer look at this, which is quite possible looking at the FTSE 4 hours to 1 hour. So yeah, so we've got wave 1 here, 2 here, then wave 1 and 2 here. Now currently we're at the 61.8%, so we can let it go to the 78.6, but we don't want the market climbing up on top of the 15,500 here for this particular structure. Otherwise we'll need to go back to this count here, where we've got where would be working in this whole B wave here, working in lots of 3, so it just makes it a bit more complicated. So yeah, if it climbs above the 15.5, well, then we'll have to recount it as a WXY here, and then we'll move down from that point. So it's a little bit tricky. Let's just go to the 1 hour chart again and look at this little move coming up through here. So at this stage, I mean, it looks like it looks like wave 1 and 2 and a third wave here, but I'm going to label it wave A and B here for the time being, and then wave C in here. Now let's go in and have a little bit of a look at this. So let's just get a bit more data in here. So from the low here, wave A is okay, and then I've got from the top here, from the 5 waves up here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So I'll look at that as the A wave, and then the B wave to here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the C wave of B. Now I could look at all of this, because B waves can have triangles in them as well, and because that looks like it's in 3 waves and 3 waves here, then it's possible to look at all of this here as wave E over here of B over here. Now I may have to revert back to this and call this wave 1 over here just yet, but so let's just have a look at what we've got here so far. So looking at this here, we can, from wave B here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2 here, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 for third, fourth, fifth of the third. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here. Now I don't particularly like that, because this move here is got the personality of a third wave to the upside. but still we can also look at it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and probably 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So we'll be very close to the top here for that. So I'll put that up there a little bit further. So in fact we can just use the 15.4 at that point, because that's what's happening. So we can just go above that, and we can call that wave 2. Now if we come up here, right, and then we get a correction back, it could come back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, maybe not that far back. It'll sit within group 2. So group 2 is 365 here. You could look at that as 365 and 80 here, 380. So that's all of group 2 there. So that'll probably sit there. If we get another 5 waves up here, right, then I'll have to use this over here as wave 1 over here and back for wave 2, and that will be the extra wave. But anything sort of further up past that particular structure here, then we've got a different wave count at that point. And I wouldn't be surprised, because I can see the way that this is moving off here, not really in a C wave pattern at this point. Yeah, so that's that. I'm going to have a look at the FTSE now. I'm not going to do the stock 50 today. So this is how I had it yesterday. So this is the problem. So we've had the A wave to here, then an ABC for the A here, the B here, and the C up here for the B wave. So all looking pretty good. And then we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming in here for wave 1 and 2 here. So that was going okay. Then wave 1 down here, that's okay. But then coming back here, you can see that wave 2 is coming. Technically, wave 2 can come to, come to that exact point there, but can't breach it. If it breaches it, then we've got another count. Okay, so in looking at this going to the upside here, we'll just go to the tick chart here for a moment. So once again, from the low, we can look at the A wave here, and an A and a B and a C wave here. That all fits quite sort of nicely. And then I'm counting all of this here now. So in this count, we've got 1 and 2 and 1 ABC for 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2, and all of this 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 5 for the third, fourth, fifth for the third and fourth. So from this blue wave 2, we're going all the way up here for blue wave 3, 4 and blue wave 5 to make this 1 and 2 here and 3 here and 4 here and 5 here. So I can map out the rest of this here for us, which should be pretty easy. That's 1 and 2 here. That's probably 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So there's probably another little move up into here to finish that off there somewhere, and then there'll be an ABC pattern that can come back to the wave 4 1 lesser degree, and then one more move up here, and that should be it. So anything above that, then that would be wave 5 of C at that point, but anything above that, then I'd have to label that all of this wave 3 here, and then we'll have wave 4, and then we'll have wave 5 moving up here higher. And if that's the case, then if we go back to our 1 hour chart just for a moment, looking at this here, so if we touch on 7,300 here, then we have to invalidate this particular count, which kind of looks like what we'll have to do. But then how do we count all of this? We know that this is corrective. We know that this is corrective. So we could go a W, X and Y over here. So that's possible. So I'll just put this in here for the moment, because that there is in 3 waves here. That X wave is an A and a B and a C wave to that point. So it means that we'll have over here, we'll have something like a bit higher up, but we can come back to that. So I did have another idea here, and this is a triangle pattern here for this. And I know that this here from the intraday basis can also be counted slightly differently as well here. Well, not quite like that, but let me fix that up. You'd have to go to the intraday to see this, and if this is going to be the case, well then we'll look at this. It would be like that. So, and it fits quite nicely actually on the intraday. 4 hours is intraday, but tick chart stuff. But an A wave, a B wave, a C wave, a D wave, and an E wave. It's just a thought. It's a bit of a long shot, but we'll see how that plays out at this point. I mean, this is, normally I'd go long above the B wave top here, as you probably know. But I think it's just a trap. Would end up, if we get 5 waves up here, let's just say that we get 5 up here, then we'll probably get another deep 3 back at that point. And it'll be something like this if it was going to be a triangle. So let's just see what we get in here first. Let's see if we breach this top, or we just get to it and we come back down here and so on. But we'll have to look at this in a different way, as I just mentioned here as well. So a WXY, just throw it out. I mean, the FTSE's always been out of timing with the other markets as such. They're the same but different, So anyway, our wave 4 here, unfortunately for the FTSE, has just got a bit more complicated. Just trying to think if I can see it in any other way. That makes sense, I haven't had time to ponder it, but see, if we take that whole distance there, that's the 61.8% there. So that number needs a slight adjustment here for that. But anyway, that number there can be whatever that is. 72. That would be right in group 2 there. Perfect. Anyway, let's. I don't have any answers here for you, unfortunately. I'm sorry about that. It's just gotten a bit more complicated. It's complicated. What I need to do is I need to see if this ends up in 3 waves here. And if it is 3 waves and doesn't take the top out here, then it can still come back down here, Obviously, it's news driven out of on the European side of things. I don't know what that news is. But yeah, I need to see if a couple of things. I need to see if it finishes in 3 waves. I need to see if those 3 waves take out that top there by a point. And then I also need to see, well, if we get 5 waves up here, if we get 5 waves up here, then we know that we're going to have to label it wave A here, coming back for the B, and then the C wave here. So then the triangle looks quite good at that point. Otherwise, we'll have to go with this here as a Y wave for this one over here, and this becomes, I'll just leave that there for the time being, but this would become X over here for that. So a bit complicated here, unfortunately. If we have a look at, go back to the DAX here for a moment. Let me just see how that's finishing off. It's okay. If I go back to, can we get a triangle or something out of the DAX? I don't think so. It's not there yet. See, it just hasn't rebounded the way the other ones have, I do like the count of 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here for all the markets except the FTSE. So that's our dilemma at that point. But it does appear that we should be short into Christmas, from here. And then once Christmas is finished, everybody will come back happy and chirpy rather than all sort of old and crusty and worn out, and then we can start buying again at that point. We still need this to finish off. There's a fair bit here to go, really. It'll be like this. So all these wave fours here are going to be bumping across the bottom here for the DAX on the 15,000, which is the medium level here. So we should just lift these up a little bit in here. It'll all be bumpy, and that will be Christmas bumping along that 15 here, somewhere like that. And the levels below here, of course, are number 8. And then you've also got group 2 in there, so which is really important. So the lower end of group 2 will be the 50, 14,650, and the 72 in here. And then the next level down is the 5. So these are the levels that you'll be working with over Christmas. I always put the 72 with a splash of orange, nothing special, just to sort of visually see it. So that's my best bet for the DAX at the moment. So let's just talk about shorting for a moment. Let's just go back to let's go back here for a moment. So, you know, we can see here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 here, and probably 1, 2. That could all be wave 4 there too, all of that. But if that's 1 and 2 here, then 3, and that will be 4, and there'll be another little move to the upside here. So really, if there's going to be any more wave 4s, they can all drop back to the wave 4 one lesser degree, which is here, right? But anything below that, you could probably start to look to short at that point, okay? So if we go to the closest, most important number in that little area there, which will be the 50, which is the halfway, of course, between 300 and 400, you know, I know that you know that, but so if that becomes the retested resistance, then you can look to you know, start building the short trades at that point, and also definitely under the 300 as well at that stage. So building in over that side. Where's that? Let's just go back a little bit further. Okay, that line is from there to there, so that's all pretty good. So any breach of that trend line there. I'm just thinking about any other ways I can see it. So you kind of need a clear breakdown, you know, to be able to short this, because it just looks bullish to me, you know. It just looks bullish. I mean, it looks like a third wave here, that's the thing, you know. It's got that accumulation phase here, it's building through here, everybody recognises that it's going up at that point. Yeah, so anyway, a breach of this trend line can get you short, or start considering below the 1350 here, 15,350, that midpoint 50, then that would be breaking down at that point as well. If the market was closer up here, then just use the 400, just keep gravitating to the closest largest number to look for the short trade. I don't want to send us long, because I don't think that's going to be very helpful actually at this point. Because in a way this market is moving back up to test this number here. That's the balance point in the market, and it's trying to retest that. Yep, I think that's the best fit. I can't see it any other way. The Nasdaq's the same, the S&P's the same. It's just the FTSE's out. But that could be a warning sign, the FTSE going that high, you know. But but I really wouldn't go long in this. I mean, I like to be in the trend. I'm, scalping something different. But as far as the trend goes, this is the resistance here. So I'd need to see a classic trading levels pattern sitting on top of that before I looked at going, long in this. If I were going to go long, I'd need that. That's the pattern that I would need on that number there. That's because the market's telling me that it's going higher at that point. It's confirming it, I'm not wishing it to go higher or anything like that. So that's that. I think I'll just leave it at that. So even though the market is strong in that little leg there, and wave twos, it's doing its job. They're swift and they're sharp. So it's doing its job. Let's just see if it tops and rolls over in the next session. And if you see that weakness in the next session, then you know that you can hold it, because if we are coming down, we're coming down, this length here with wave 1. So the green wave 3 is going to be longer than wave 1 here. So that's going to bring us down into, down here somewhere just for this wave 3, And then we're going to have this wave 4 testing the 15,000, and then we'll have this one here for the wave 3. Wave 4 will try to retest up there. Wave 5 here should be the same length as wave 1, roughly, rule of thumb. But yeah, so we could be down at the 15, 14.8, 14.5 or something. Just depends on how this plays, how it sticks to this number here. So yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I know that it's all a bit of a weird count, and we had Powell talking and spiking markets. He's the one that spiked this, because otherwise we would have had our nice A, B and C pattern here, and coming down for 1, 2, and I've had this down as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here. Anyway, that's the best fit that's the best I can do at this stage. Let's just see if it turns over here. Alrighty, cheers.